What's happening, everyone? My name is Pardon My Presence, and you are listening to the Pardon My Presence YouTube channel, a channel where I address common issues from a unique point of view. It's also a place where I pardon a space for critical thought and analysis in today's society, where well-informed, logical assessments are slowly becoming taboo. What's happening? Let's get right into it. I'm pretty sure you recognize by now that my voice is a lot deeper, the quality is better. I'm back on my main microphone. I'm sounding sexy. I'm sexy with mine. I got everything that I need. I'm feeling a lot comfortable. I got my swagger back. My voice sounds right. My mic sounds right. All that good stuff. Anyways, let's get into why I made this video. And this has to do with the marketing campaign that's happening right now. It's in overdrive if you ask me, and that has to do with the person involved, and that person is no other than Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, I did the video on him before, and I promised myself that I wouldn't make any more videos about him because I don't want my channel to be focused on him too much, only because there are other people, other YouTube content makers who do a better job at breaking down the man who is Dr. Umar Johnson. So I wanted to stay away from that, but I had to address this because this is going crazy. Okay, he's all over YouTube right now. He's on Nick Cannon's Cannon class. Yep, Nick Cannon is back. Now, the funny thing is, I remember that video or that interview was supposed to come out a long time ago, but it didn't. I guess it was held back because of what Nick Cannon said with Professor Griff, and it was postponed. But now it's back. I'm curious of who decided to let that one go. Was it Dr. Umar who said, hey Nick, you send it out now because I'm doing other stuff as well too. I'm doing a promo run and I want my name to be out there on many different facets, many different levels. Or was it Nick Cannon? I don't know. But that interview, Dr. Umar Johnson was in his rarest form. I have to say, I have to admit. Besides the fact that he made a few slip-ups as far as him saying blueberry as opposed to blackberry and a couple other slip-ups that he made as well too, he seemed pretty on point compared to what we see of Umar Johnson when it comes to his IG lives. And this is the enigma of the man Umar Johnson. When he's on these platforms, right, these large platforms, Nick Cannon, The Breakfast Club, he seems to be in his rarest form because all that he is required to do on those platforms is just provide information, provide a lecture or a given space to rant. And that's pretty much all he does. And he rants very well. He's a great orator. And he was in his rarest form as far as all the things that he was saying. He did make a couple of gaps as far as using the word retarded. Okay, nonetheless, it was convincing to people who believe in his rhetoric and believe in what he stands for. So I'm pretty sure he got a lot of people back on the bandwagon of Dr. Umar Johnson. And of course, at the end of the video or the end of the interview, it's all about donations. Donations. Gifts. That's what it came down to, right? Of course, he's going to promote his international FDMG school, all that stuff. And I have to admit, I was a little bit happy to see him in rarest form, but then I realized that that's an old video, and I don't know what his mind state is in at the moment.
Like a slow jam. It's West Side, so you know that I'm bad under no man. Put them there, put it up on beat from Dre. To the roof of the leg. From Oakland to West Side. The back down. Show me love.
And then another interview came out on the Lord Jamar and Raw Digger and Godfrey's podcast called the Godcast, the Anamine Godcast. And yes, I watched that podcast as well too. They've been doing great work, and big up to them as far as their stance on Vlad TV. I agree with them. But on that interview, respect to Jamar because he asked good questions. He kept his journalistic integrity, and he asked a question, or he posed a suggestion, which was, hey, my family comes from a line of scholars and teachers, and he has someone in his family that has been successful in opening up a school. And of course, it started small, a shack or some type of abandoned warehouse or trailer, and expanded into a legitimate building, and it's taken off. And he brought that to Dr. Umar's attention. And he said, I'm willing to connect you, because I spoke with my relative. I'm willing to connect you to him to see what we could do to push your dream, your initiative, your movement along to get to the final stages, which is to open up the school. And Dr. Umar was upset, defensive. He didn't like it. No, that might work for him, but not me. Oh, that's good for him, but not me. I'm not on that. This is what I'm on. I'm international. In other words, his ego took over.
You know, you might need some help with it, bro. What do you think?
Well, a couple things. I want to deal with your assumption that I might need some help.
Okay.
Most of my friends are educators. Most of my elders are educators and psychologists. That is my field. So it's kind of interesting when someone who's an expert in something, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to the detractors who say I can help him with that. This is
No, I think they're talking about the real estate part of it. Not you're an educator, but not a real estate guy. You see
But we
what I'm
already
saying?
have the real estate, so that's not even an issue.
Right, but did we choose the right real estate? Did we
I
take the
certainly
money
chose
and do
the right real
and do
estate,
the
brother.
best
I just
fiduciary
told you,
thing with the money?
Brother, I just told you that the schools that we got was a $13 million project 9 years ago in excellent shape. We got a steal for that campus.
How dare you provide help, like if I need help? Yet, what does he do every time you see him on IG Live or whenever you see him on any interview? Donations, donations, donations. Cash at me. Right? $ FDMG. Cash at me. That's all he says. So in other words, he has no problem asking his supporters or people who like to be entertained by watching his lives for help. But when people in the community, people with some type of notoriety, which is the word that Lord Jamal used, he decided not to take them up on his offer. So what does that tell you about Dr. Umar? Because Dr. Umar, and I said this before in my previous video, he does not collaborate well with others. He's always by himself. He does things on his own. You never see the people that he's working with. You never see him with a team. And this is what Lord Jamar was providing. And Dr. Umar Johnson said no.
You don't open up a school in a year or two. I don't know your brother's story, and I don't care to know it. I don't care to know it.
Why not though? If it could be helpful to you, why wouldn't you care to know it if it could be helpful to you?
Brother, I have friends who own schools. Do you understand that? I have friends who own schools. So if I need to talk to someone who owns a school, I already got that. I got what I need. The only thing missing from my equation is enough funds to complete the task. That's it. That's it. Because you have people telling you that the school ain't in good shape. The school is in excellent shape, which is why we're getting offers for it now. It's in excellent shape, brother.
When people are trying to offer their help to Dr. Umar Johnson, he always looks at it as an insult, and he never gets back to them, never takes them up on their offer. It always has to be through his own channels. And why is that? Okay, and you gotta put it this way. This school that he has is the perfect ploy for him. Because when you have a school, and this is going to be a big project, a big building, a big endeavor, there's so many ways you could come up with a scam to say, I can't get it up and running because of this matter. The roof, the plumbing, the electrical, the groundskeeping, the taxes, this and that and the third. This is a perfect setup to the point where he could have a whole bunch, like a whole list of things they could come up with to say, hey, yeah, I know I said September 1st. I know I said October 21st. I know I said January 31st. I know I said February 21st. You can keep going on and on and on and on and on because he can always come up with something new. And this has been the scam with this whole situation. Okay, and with that interview and the way how he blew up.
What? Go ahead, please.
Respectfully?
Respectfully.
You've been raising money for 6.5 years, brother. If you ain't doing up by now, you ain't donating. And your question don't matter.
No. But yes. No. You can't assume that in the 6 years everybody knows what you're doing.
Wait, hang on. Hang on, let me interject here. I think
donate by now. You ain't gonna donate, and that's all right with me.
But what if they didn't know about it? What if they're just finding out about it?
And then the most telling point of the interview was when he said, this is out of his own mouth, he said,
You know, these are definitely the answers that people want to know. They want to.
I'm not interested in people. I'm interested in donors, brother.
what man who aspires to open a school to teach young black boys, to educate them on being unapologetically African, what man who believes in those things would ever fix his mouth to say, I don't care about people? Dog, if you're going to be a teacher, and you know that this is not a position that gets, that you don't get paid well, it's not a position that allows you to live a wealthy life. You do this for the love of people, your people. You want to educate people. You want to see people successful. You want to see people do better than you with the information and the knowledge and the resources that you're able to give them. You would think he'd be more of a father figure to bring people in to say, yes, I need everyone's help, not money, resources. But in his mind, in his head, he wants money. And if there isn't any other thing that raises a red flag, that should be it. Because everybody knows, or you should know by now, that just money alone will not get this school up and running. You're going to need to get teachers, you're going to need to get students, you're going to need to get so many different things. And money can't buy many of those things. And especially if you're going to start off the school the first year, it's not going to be lucrative, it's not going to be profitable. A lot of things are going to be done off the strength. So it's not money that's going to get this done. It's going to be the vision, the wanting, the blood, sweat, and tears, the sacrifice of putting in your own work without getting anything back as far as a monetary gain. But that's not Dr. Umar's vision. That's not his intention. He wants the money. As long as you keep that in front of you to see, he speaks well, right? He says all of these things that you can relate to, right? He cherry picks at different topics to get you riled up so that you believe in what he says. It makes you feel good to listen to that. Great. But at the end of the day, at the end of all that discussion, if all he wants is your money to build something that will never be finished, will never be completed, then who wants all that talk? We want action. And I'll be more impressed by someone who's built a Sunday school or a weekend school with just 10 students. Because those 10 students, if they're taught correctly, and they're given the right curriculum, and they're given the right backing and resources and support, they'll become your apostles, right? And they will be the people that you refer to when you want to show people your work, your life's work. It's the kids that you helped. And not once has he ever said, this is a boy that I helped. This boy became a man. He's never done that. And then I'm hearing some other video of him lashing out at people, calling people lemon heads, calling people no neck, asexual, down low. I don't know what's going on. I've been working all week. I don't know what the hell's going on. But then he does this other video attacking people, and it's clear that he's doing damage control based on what happened with Lord Jamar. He's trying to, right his wrongs as far as how he responded to those questions. He realized that he was defensive, and he's doing damage control. But the interesting thing about it is that there's one point where he says, you shouldn't be a prisoner. You shouldn't be a prisoner of people's opinions of you. But if you followed Dr. Umar and everything that he's done on social media and how he responds to criticism, that's exactly who he is. He's a prisoner of people's opinions of him. He watches all the videos of people critiquing him. He watches all of the videos of his quote-unquote naysayers, detractors. He knows them very well. He knows all the videos very well. He knows what's being said about him very well. He's in tune with it. He is a prisoner of people's opinions. So, again, I didn't think I needed to do any of this, But to see Dr. Umar all over the place now, and I'm only saying doctor because I'm trying to be respectful, right? But to see him all over YouTube, all over the the social media platform, I had to address it, okay? And I hopefully this will be the last time I have to. But it's very interesting to see how everything's playing out and how his own words are getting him into trouble. Anyways, that's my take on it. Hopefully it'll be my last. But that's all I wanted to say at this point in time. Until next time, pardon my presence. Peace.